look into. Also have sufficient knowledge of the fraud. Have sufficient knowledge about the fraud. The knowledge includes characteristics of fraud. The method used to commit the fraud, that's what we mean. So you are supposed to look into those activities that are associated with the fraud and then review the activities so that you should have the right knowledge about them. Again, you should have an alert to opportunities that could allow fraud, such as the control deficiencies. For example, we can think about a control being weak. It means that's a deficiency. You are supposed to notify them to say, no, this is not the way we should. I always give this example to say, somebody is in the cash office, he keeps money, and then he collects money maybe from other people as revenue. Instead of telling him, say, within 2 days, you're supposed to this particular doesn't. The control doesn't even limit him to beautiful things within this short period of time. They are going to be as open as anything, not even limiting them to say, please can you. Those are some of the deficiencies that you can think about to say there is a loophole somewhere where I see that fraud is very possible to occur. So you as an assurance auditor, you are supposed to control those deficiencies and then detect additional procedures that may assist the organization for the fraud not to occur. You should also evaluate the indicators of fraud and decide whether any further action, if necessary, can be taken or investigated. So you give a recommendation to say, according to me, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I've evaluated, I see these are the indicators that fraud can be possible. Can you close the gaps so that it should not occur? Or you give them a clue to say, do this. The assurance auditor also has to actively oversee the fraud risk that the management can look into. So you as an assurance auditor, you are supposed to oversee. You can go to management and talk about the, let's say, programs that are there, and then you assist them by telling them what to do. For example, when we are talking about overseeing, it means it's not now, it's going to happen in the future. So you tell them that, yeah, according to me, if you leave this young man in this office, I think by the end of this year, you are going to lose this much. So these are supposed to be also looked into by the assurance auditor. So if there is need, you can also recommend an investigation. Say, can you please send somebody to go and find out, maybe you have found out that the asset is not there, somebody is keeping it at home. Then you can say, you can investigate. I'm not an auditor. You leave them with that information so they know where to go. Maybe they can go police to investigate. Or whoever is concerned can go and investigate about what you have advised as an assurance auditor. What are the characteristics of fraud we can think about? This normal. This is the normal. Or what are the characteristics that can make somebody do fraud?
I think having access to the organization's income.
Having access to the organization's income, even you are an accountant. Let's just imagine you don't have money to go and to home and yet you are keeping a lot. Bundles and bundles of money. What has happened? Situational pressure. Sometimes we think of, let's say, somebody can think of stealing by having situational pressure, where you have financial difficulties. I was giving that for you to just think about that. So, when you have financial difficulties, people involve themselves in stealing. Kunyumba kulibengiwa, wabwera mshito. That's how people steal. And you think about 2,000 your kind. Tomorrow comes, that is about 2,000. You take it. After that, am I going to go out and eat? At the end of the day, you don't have enough money to be fine. There, you have problems in this world. The pressure that you have is the one that has led you to do whatever you have done. So that's a situation of pressure, opportunity to commit fraud, as he was saying. Poor control over cash. That again can make somebody to steal. Again, lack of accounting control. That's opportunity to commit fraud. Lack of accounting control. So, those are some of the things that we can make somebody steal or do fraud. things. How about types of fraud? Types of fraud. Types of fraud. So types of fraud, one, we have asset misappropriation. Asset misappropriation. That's another one type of fraud. This can be equipment, inventory, or even information. It's also in the asset group. Again, this can, if we're talking about information, we're talking about this adjusting record. You wrote that these are the number of, let's say, deaths in the university. Then later you change to write a different number. That is, again, adjusting a record. That's an example of fraud. Asset misappropriation. Taking the asset maybe home for your own use. That is again another, that is the first type of fraud. The second one is skimming. Theft of cash before it is recorded. For example, accepting payment from a customer but not recording it in books of accounts. So that is skimming. The third one is disbursement. Disbursement fraud. Disbursement involves payment of fictitious goods or services, overstatement of invoices, or use of invoices for personal reasons. You want 100. You say you will pay for 250. The other you take it home. So go and take your side in and watch France. Let's forgive those that are not known. So we are talking about disbursement fraud, the right of fictitious information either on an invoice or a statement or other things that you can take advantage of. Expense reimbursement fraud. Where we're talking about payments of fictitious or inflated expenses. For example, an expense report for personal travel, non-existent meals, or extra mileage. Wapita kunja kwa mara na bila kulala. Anasema tutasikia chumba kuna mtana. Na shida hizi as a result, you are stealing from the organization. And these are some of the things it's difficult to know them as an auditor. Somebody brings it. It's difficult. That's why, that's one of the limitations to say it's very difficult for you to know. So we are saying the other type of fraud is expense reimbursement. Expense reimbursement. Expense reimbursement fraud. So where we're talking about fictitious payments or inflated expenses, where you can report on personal travel that are fake or inflated. For example, Yvonne, you have been sent to go to Atlanta for your work. You are working at the, let's say, capital cell. Then you go to Atlanta. You cheat to say, I picked a taxi one time when I was going to work, and yet you didn't. You just take a fake receipt. Those are this type of fraud. Okay? Then payroll fraud. Payroll fraud. Payroll fraud is a false claim for compensation. For example, overtime for hours not worked or payment to fictitious employees. So people choose to say this is an employee and yet they are not. Inflating the claim or saying that I did overtime and yet they didn't. The other fraud can be, or the other type of fraud is financial statement misrepresentation. Financial statement misrepresentation. Where you often overstate assets or revenue or understate liabilities and expenses. People do that. So this is the type of fraud. And then the other type of fraud is information misrepresentation. Information misrepresentation. Where you provide false information, usually to outsiders in the, let's say, organization in connection of financial statements. So this is something that we should know that when checking, we should also look into such documentation. The other one, fraud type, is corruption. Corruption. So in most cases, corruption leaves a very little accounting evidence. So these crimes usually are uncovered through tips or complaints from third parties. Corruption often involves the purchasing function. So what are we saying? We're saying corruption is difficult to notice because it doesn't leave anything. You have got several payments, and then somebody comes. Why did I have one? Mom, why did I have? I'm waiting. Instead of writing it according to the way somebody had invoiced you, you start with the one that is ended giving you the invoice, then you pay it. So they give you money. So it is difficult to see the evidence. But as auditors, we can be tipped of such information, then we can come up with something. The other one is bribery. Corruption and bribery, sometimes they interact. Giving, let's say, offering, giving, receiving, associated to value, influencing an outcome. Bribes may be offered to the key employees. Sometimes they bribe even the biggest, and then somebody comes with an instruction. So you have no way to dodge. Then the other one is conflict of interest. Conflict of interest. Where an undisclosed person economic interest in a transaction that will adversely affect the organization or the shareholder. When we're talking about conflict of interest, we're talking of me being an accountant. Okay. Then, there is a requirement that the school wants to buy, let's say, computers. Then I say, I've got a shop, please buy it from me. That is very bad. That's all in accounting. So we are not supposed to have that. Or one of the big people in the organization, or the manager, or the administrator says, please can you do that? Those are bad doings to the organization. Diversion. This is where you redirect to an employee or outsider a transaction that will normally benefit the organization. They have thought of, let's say, giving money to me, not the organization. So that's the diversion. The other one is wrongful use. Wrongful use. Wrongful use of confidential or proprietary information is fraudulent. What are we talking about? You use, let's say, a document. For example, here, you say, I will take this document for me to be given a loan at the bank, and yet it's a wrong documentation. So that's fraudulent. I mean, you are stealing. Tax evasion, that's another stealing. Intentionally falsifying a tax return. Intentionally falsifying a tax return. So all those are types of fraud that we should know. So there are symptoms that can show documents are also symptoms that can say that there is something wrong through accounting records. Let's say in the inventory, or you find out after the reconciliation, then you say, this is the symptom of fraud. Lifestyle symptom. This is an explained rise in an employee's social status or level of material consumption. Kuona Mungu akutuliwe ni garage iwe koma ndiwe bwana koma chigari muzimena kuendera acho kuti koma sikata ikijoya wanga ule those are some of lifestyle and level is the high level. So lifestyle again is a symptom that you can really detect that somebody is stealing. Behavioral symptom. Mufuna mkamule kutirero. Mundu wakumaseni wakatotera. Mundu wona katotera. Mkamuleka indenga kuti. So these are some of the things that you can see that these are some of the symptoms of fraud. There are also some indicators of possible fraud. And these have got different forms, which can include potential motives, opportunities, and rationalization. We can have, let's say, for example, lack of employee rotation in sensitive positions such as cash handling. Mwamuzi akoti mubalewa ngaibona sanga chokitwa meza za chikotandiziri ineso amanditandiziri. No. There are other positions, sensitive positions, whereby we say, no, as you have been there for many years to notate that somebody comes in. Okay? You as bosses in the offices for tomorrow, you just have to have that in mind that crucial positions like those, you are supposed to go teach them. Somebody sits there and you change other one goes in and so on. Inappropriate combination of job duties. Inappropriate combination of job duties. Yemweyo nukuta aende board. Yemweyo aende cheki. Yemweyo abagashi. Yemweyo aende muma transactions. In fact, I also thought of in future telling the organization that this is not good. you are supposed to have segregation of duties or distribution of duties based on your section. If somebody has to be doing that, you are not taking each other. Somebody has to do that, this one has to do that. Not that one should be doing everything that is not good. So these are some of the possibilities of indicators of fraud. And clear lines of responsibilities and accountability. Mungu wa administration awagera kwa kazi. Mungu wa yuwa nisote akawa mkalipia. No, these are not good. An employee who refuses to take a vacation or refuses promotion. I'm choosing promotion. For example, there should be something that we can issue for. High reported profits when competitors are suffering from an economic downturn. You will end up with so these are some of the indicators of fraud. High turnover among supervisory positions in finance and accounting areas. So these are some of the fraud indicators. Excessive or unjustifiable use of sole source procurement. In normal terms, for example, the government, you're not supposed to be buying everywhere. No, you're supposed to have where you buy items and you list them down that these are our people that we buy from our goods. We don't just buy in a way. Those are some of the weaknesses, indicators of fraud. So these are some of them that we should know. So when we are investigating a fraud, we should gather sufficient information for us to determine the fraud. Whether the fraud has occurred, or the loss has been exposed, or who was involved, how fraud occurred, all these in connection of how we can investigate fraud. We know that these are done by us, auditors, lawyers, and other specialists that investigate fraud. So us as auditors, we should also have an idea of how we can investigate fraud. So an investigation can be planned. In fact, I'm just taking some of the main things that we should know. Should be planned. And when we are doing the planning, as we have already said, that we want to have obtain an assurance of the fraud. Therefore, we should have one gathered evidence. Gathered evidence using the methods that we wrote, interviewing people, written documentation, all those. Documenting and having the evidence, the legal rules of evidence, and business evidence also should be there. Determining expensive fraud, you should also have that you should have. How you should investigate by using some of the fraud methods that we have indicated on top, evaluating them, knowing the cause of fraud, and also who were involved. And this should be also known by management that this is what is happening. You can ask employees about the investigation. We have talked about fraud. They now control. This is the last part of us that we should know in the 20 minutes we are remaining with. Control is the principal means of preventing fraud. That's the main thing. Management is responsible for establishing and maintaining control. So as auditors are responsible for preventing fraud by examining and evaluating the adequacy and effectiveness of control. So we as auditors are supposed to see the adequacy and the effectiveness of the controls that have been put in place by the management. So when you are doing the controls, you should review extensive guidance on control concepts. Review extensive guidance on control concepts and the terminologies, also methods that we are using. Here they have given us some of the examples that we can control fraud, establishing an employee counseling program. You can make a program for counseling employees in order to control fraud. You can also have a periodic review of buyer's lifestyle. A policy of identifying and reducing buyer's situational pressure. Also, have a strong written statement of management commitment to organizational ethics. So, these are just some of the examples that you can have in order to control fraud. Examples? Establishing an employee counseling program, periodic review of buyer's lifestyle, a policy of identifying and reducing buyer's situational pressures. A policy of identifying and reducing buyer's situational pressures. Again, a strong written statement of management commitment to organizational ethics. So the strong ethics can be reflected in the policies, written policies that are there. Awareness of fraud. Fraud prevention involves actions to discourage fraud and limit the exposure when it occurs. A strong ethical culture and the setting of correct stand or tune at the top are essential to prevention. So we are saying that we should discourage fraud. This is just for the people to be aware. Overlapping controlled elements of fraud. So the control, for example, control of the environment, which includes code of conduct, ethical policies, and fraud policies. These are, let's say, for their awareness that they should know and should be in written form that the organization has to do. A fraud risk assessment is supposed to be done, and this is in connection of identifying or prioritizing fraud risk factors and fraud schemes. What do we mean? Always, when you have a risk in connection with fraud, you are supposed to identify that and prioritize it, because you can be saying, I will do that and do that next time. So there are some of the things that we should know how to assess fraud. Mapping existing controls to potential fraud schemes and identifying gaps. You should identify gaps of the fraud, or how can these people penetrate. Look into that. That gap is supposed to be made aware of, so that we should do the closing of it. Testing operating effectiveness of fraud prevention and detection of control. You always have to test the effectiveness of the control. Because if you test them, that's when you can know that, okay, these are the problems, and then they can be made aware that we should do something serious about it. Documenting and reporting the fraud risk assessment. You should assess the fraud where there is a risk and then document it. Let people be aware of what you have observed. Fraud reporting. It's not you as an assurance auditor that is going to report only fraud, but it's somebody who is an executive who is responsible to report on fraud. You are just going to report that you are not going to act on that. So that is what we should be aware of, that done by the big people. It consists of various oral or written, interim or final communications to management or to the board regarding the status and the results of the fraud investigation. So you just narrate how you have done the investigations, how you have done everything, then you give it to them. They're the ones that are going to make a decision, not yourself. So, a formal communication may be issued at the conclusion of the investigation. That includes the time frame, observation, conclusion, resolution, and collective action to improve control. So, that is after they have done something, that's when you take action of how you can do the conclusion. So I think for today we should stop there. The next meeting will be something different. Any questions? So the good part of the university is you have talked about the fraud, risk, and control. You can go and see another book and read more. This is just the opening your eyes. Okay? Great. So that next meeting and start on next meeting, we should come and look into assurance and compliance engagement. Is that good? Assurance and compliance engagement.